very late time in about 1440. This used to be his place. About 1490, decided to move down to the coast of Whitehall, left this place empty, handed it over to the British people as their parliament. There's been a parliament on that site ever since. This building dates from 1864. The one previous to it burnt down in 1832. This site was run by a guy called Charles Barry, and then this building was built on the site of the road. So you know, I pointed out the green bridge. You'll see here, you've got some green awning. This is the tea houses and the cafes and bars. The Lords sit in the red ones, the MPs sit in the green ones, segregation throughout that building. Caught fire, 1832, burnt to the ground. The then Chancellor of the Exchequer decided that he can't put himself on like that, so he got all his cabinets, set fire up underneath his office in the building, and he put the place of the building. It's a true story, not making that one up, no building fires. So when that burned, Royal Tower, that's where the Royals went up, so when they had the state open Parliament, that would be where the King was born. There's every law that's ever been written in the United Kingdom since 1480, there's a written manuscript of it in there, they're kept all in there, and every time there's a ballot, general election or a by-election, all the ballot papers come back to the Houses of Parliament and get stored in that tower because it's all been out of time. As we move along, we're coming up to this middle tower, or the central tower as it's called. That's actually a chimney. All of the fireplaces built around through that central tower. I think it's one of the prettiest on there, actually, to be honest, but you know, yeah, that's the chimney for the central tower. And then the last one on the left, the one with the clock face, that is not Big Ben, that is the Elizabeth Tower. It was called Elizabeth Tower in 2012 after Queen Elizabeth 60 years on the throne. Prior to that, it was called St Stephen's Tower. It's never officially been called Big Ben. It gets the nickname Big Ben because of the 13.5-ton bell that's in it. When that place was being built in the 1860s, the master of the works was a guy called Benjamin Hall. He was a very loud, big, round man. His staff didn't particularly like him. See if we get another wave for anyone up here. So, yeah, so no one particularly liked Benjamin Hall. I thought he was a bit obnoxious. But his name is Big Ben, and he's on the ground there. The nickname was Big Ben, so that's where I was going to say. That area is called Westminster, as I say, it's the palace of Westminster. That isn't what gives it that name. On the back of it, there's a minster or a church, and there's been a church there or minster since medieval times, back in the 10th century. So there's a minster, and it's at the west of London, and that's why it's called the city of Westminster, that whole area. You can see now the white one on the left is the old palace of Westminster. So on our right, we've got what we've got, the londoneye, or it's a pretty good name actually, londoneye, lastminute.com, VO Flyer, Millennium Wheel. There was a competition run in the UK in 1993 to come up with a London landmark to commemorate the millennium, which was coming up in the year 2000. So a competition was held, that lost, became second, didn't win. British Airways, or BA, liked the design that much, they decided to fund it themselves. So they shelled out the £75 million that that cost back in the year 2000, or 93, sorry, for the 2000 opening. And it proved that successful and made their money back in 2 years. So I think they made their 75 million. It was originally only going to stay there for 5 years. Then it stayed, it got licensed for 10. It's recently been given a licence to be there permanently, so that's been a permanent structure right December river. So I'll point out as we go along further down what did actually do that competition back in 93 to be the landmark for the millennium. So we're coming up to the newest bridges on the Thames here. Either side of this railway bridge, which is Hungerford Bridge, there's two pedestrian bridges either side. These are called the Elizabeth bridges, because they were put there in 2002, 50 years before Lizzie on the throne. That's why they got that name. They're designed to fit in with the Londoneye, so they look quite similar, like they opened in 2002. Then we get away with someone up on the top there. Don't get an haircut. Who needs one, really? So this is Hungerford Railway Bridge under them. It's very drop with the suburb of Hungerford. If you know London, it's also really anywhere. You see a drive that's about 10 miles from London, 100 people. It's the right corner there, Charing Cross Railway Station. Right at the front of it, there's a statue of King Charles, and that's where all the distances from London are measured. On our right, we've got the Royal Festival Hall. This opened in 1951. It was part of the Festival's British celebrations after the Second World War. There's also next to it the Queen Elizabeth Hall and the Purcell Room. This area is known as the South Bank. It's a big art complex. So you get plays, dramas, art shows, the whole thing going on there. That is the biggest gathering of art buildings and art complexes in the entire world. When that was built, in 1950, you could buy milk, you could buy cheese, you could buy if you could, you could see a show at the Royal Festival Hall. I'm not sure how that would be on the London. So this is Waterloo Bridge. That's not the map. So this is the longest bridge on the River Thames. The Thames is really small over the bridge here. And that's because this is the only bridge on the River Thames that is made of self-cleaning stone. It's made of Portland self-cleaning stone. Every time it rains in London, that bridge gets a wash. That's quite a lot of the moment. On our right, this is officially the ugliest building in the United Kingdom. That is our Royal National Theatre. Prince Charles, as he was then, opened this building and he hated it, he slated it. He said that it looked like the back end of a nuclear power station. 2 years later, a competition was run to name Britain's ugliest building, so that won it, and that's stuck ever since. Inside, there's 3 theatres. If you're going to go and see a show up west, try there first, because they put a show on there for about 20-30 quid, and if it's good, then it'll go over to the West End and sometimes on the Broadway. So always have a look at there, see if you can get a show that's a lot cheaper than paying £1,500 for the West End. Beautiful building, beautiful inside. You've got the Sir Lawrence Olivier Theatre, absolutely stunning theatre. Outside is brilliant. So it's a bit of that old saying, don't judge a book by its cover, because the outside is black, inside is really nice. So on our right, we've got this brick building with the stone column above. This is Oxo Hall, the famous couple in the UK called Oxo, where we all get our gravy friendly from for our Sunday dinner, our Sunday roast. This building opened in 1931, owned by Oxo. It was their wharf, which means warehouse along the riverfront. And you saw unload all of their goods and wares and store them in that warehouse. When that building opened in 1931, the owners got took to court because they were in breach of advertising rules even back then. This area, this river, is a royal highway, so no advertising is allowed at all on the river. So when that building opened and they had also, they got took to court for being in breach of those regulations. They hired a very clever barrister who went to court, argued with the judge, and convinced him that that was purely accidental and didn't deliberately do that. Got no bearing whatsoever about that infraction. And they won their case. The judge agreed with them, and they threw the case out. So that's why Oxo Walk has been able to stay as it is. Some people would say that the judge never worked again because he became a laughing stock. I know they're called them, but honestly, it's probably as good as it's going to get, to be fair. Okay. So on our left-hand side coming up, you'll see it just slightly in the background, St Paul's Cathedral. big tall stone building. Second biggest unsupport dome in the world, only St Peter's Basilica in Rome is bigger. That's the fifth version of St Paul's Cathedral. The fourth one got burned down in the Great Fire of London in 1666. We then employed an architect, a very famous British architect by the name of Sir Christopher Wren, and he designed and then oversaw the building of that as a replacement. It stands 365 feet high, and that's because he's a very religious man, Sir Christopher Wren, and he felt that we should worship every day of the year, Christmas Day and Easter are the 2 days that most people worship, but he was like, no, we should worship every day, so we had it built to 365 feet high to represent you should pray every day. That's where Prince Charles and Lady Diana got married actually. Most of the royal weddings and coronations all take place in Westminster Abbey, but all the activities in the park. He was killed and they had his funeral in Westminster Abbey. Upset Prince Charles that much when he got married, he refused to get married in Westminster Abbey. So he went to Westminster also, you'll notice there's no tall buildings in front of that, they're all ahead of that. That's because there's an ancient law that dictates that St Paul's Cathedral has to be viewed from 8 different locations within the city of, with the greater city of London all the way around London. So that's why nothing is built tall in front of that to obscure its view, and all the skyscrapers are further down on the right hand side, your left hand side. So I talked about the Millennium Competition and what won and what didn't, and as I said, the wheel lost. This bridge here in front of us, this is what won. This bridge is called the Millennium Bridge, or the Blade of Light. For us in London, we like to call it the Wobbly Bridge. It opened in the year 2000, it was on by an artist called Sir Norman Foster. It was open for 3 days. So 160,000 people walked across this bridge. We got such a bad wobble on it that people fell over. Ambulances had to be called, we had broken legs, broken hips, people got up over the side, the members were back there, and then it stayed shut for 2 years until we could get NASA involved to help us push the tankers on and stop the wobble. So it's officially named the Millennium Bridge, forever known as the Wobble. On our right, we've got this white round building with a thatched roof. That is Shakespeare's Bow, not the original. This one opened in 1997. The original sank slightly behind it and to the left. The original was only there 14 years, burnt down in the year 1630. Sam Wanamaker, big American film producer, came over here in the late 70s in the UK, and was really disappointed to not find any sort of like memorial or reference to Shakespeare. So he set upon himself to have a memorial built, and he had that built and funded through charitable donations. You can go and see Shakespeare playing it today. It's standing only, no seating, which is the same as it was back then, but it was built exactly the same size. No electricity, no power source, all built by hand. The only difference now between that and the original is that there's a role played by a female who is played by a female. In the Shakespeare the female role actually played by a man. So we'll be staying out on the right hand side, we'll have a low up in London, up in London. We're a couple for 700 years. William Shakespeare used to drink the boy right in his place. Samuel Pepys sat in there, watched the Great Fire of London, destroyed with London over on the left there. Charles Dickens used to sit in there drinking. Smokey wrote the first English dictionary, a guy called Samuel Johnson. Wrote the dictionary in 1755. Great pub actually, you walk along the riverside, pop in there, well worth the book. It's a lovely old place. Just going under 22 railway bridge. Yeah, in the future, This one in front of us here is very